Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, welcome back. This is Brandon from Brandon Coin, and today we have another graphics card spotlight video. The last one seemed to do pretty well, and I figured I can just kind of go through and we'll check out some more. So the graphics card in question today is one that a lot of people ask about, and especially it's the newcomers to not only the mining scene but also the gaming scene. And this is the GT 1030. Specifically today I'm looking at the Gigabyte overclock model. It's a very tiny card. If you'll look, it's like one wide as what the designation is. So like you could fit this in almost anything. Now it is a full size tall, so it's not like a low profile, so you're not going to be able to fit it in any of the low profile cases. But these cards are really interesting because this one, for example, has GDDR5. These are 2 GB cards, and they do actually mine pretty decent, and they also game pretty decent. But you have to be very careful because there are also GT 1030 models that come with DDR4. Yes, you heard me correct. Not GDDR4 and not GDDR5, just DDR4. There's been a lot of speculation because some people think, oh, well, the RAM was so hard to get at the time, they just replaced it. But realistically, they are out there, and I'll show you here in a second once we can flip over there and see them for sale. They're for sale for the same exact price. They have the same exact name. You just have to look at the hard specs. And a lot of times, a lot of the newcomers which are buying these cards, the entry-level cards, are not looking at the hard specs. So they're still 2 GB, but they come with a lot slower memory. And on the mining end of things, it makes them basically useless. And on the gaming end, for any modern gaming, it also basically makes them useless. I went online and was just getting some specs and readouts on them. For example, on Battlefield 1 low quality at 1080p, the GT 1030 2GB GDDR5 scored an average of 61 FPS. That's playable. So you got to sacrifice your quality all the way down to low, but at least the game is playable. But now the GT 1030 with 2GB of DDR4, so what realistically should be called the GT like 1020 or something, scored an average of 28 FPS. So not even half the performance on Battlefield 1. On Far Cry 5, low quality at 720p, not even 1080p. The 1030 with GDDR5 managed an average of 50 FPS, but the 1030 with the 2GB of DDR4 couldn't even hit 30. It was at 29 FPS average. So I was thinking, okay, maybe we'll check out and see what Fortnite would do. But Fortnite at medium quality, everything's set to medium, 1080p. The GT 1030, I had it wrote down here. Let's see here. It was doing 66 FPS with the DDR5 or GDDR5. I want to keep calling it DDR5, but the DDR4 version only produced an average of 38 FPS, and that's on Fortnite, what a lot of people regard as like one of the lightest games to run in general. So Nvidia kind of selling this as like a good entry level gaming card, and them selling the DDR4 versions right alongside these as being like almost the same performance. It's a little irresponsible, if I do say so, because a lot of people will buy these as their first card and then see that they get like trash results, and then they don't want to touch it anymore. But now on to the mining end of things. You cannot mine Ethereum with them or Ethereum Classic because the DAG file is too high. But I have been using this to mine Ether 1. Before this, I used to keep them on to Equihash algorithms, but since the ASICs have hit that now, I pulled it off and I wasn't running it for a while. But I found out that you can run it on Ether 1 because it's a low DAG file. It's only a 1.2 GB DAG file, and they do score pretty well. Let me pop this in and I'll show you what we're looking at. Alright guys, so we are back. I got the card in, let it boot up. It's on my budget rig right here, and if I hover over it, it's GPU number 2. You'll notice I'm getting 5.34 mega hash currently. I can push this card a little bit harder and get, I have got it up to 6, but currently right now I have it at 900 on the memory, 100 on the core. It seems to be that this card likes a little bit more core, If I go with more core, it will up the hash rate, but it's just not stable. It seems to be around 5.5 and under is all it's gonna do. 5.3 seems rock solid. I had it like this for the last couple days, but yeah. So this is on mining Ether 1 or Etho. Unfortunately, we can no longer mine Ethereum or Ethereum Classic with it because the DAG file is too high. But we do have some times to still be able to mine Ether 1 on it. This is by far the most profitable algorithm to mine on the 1030s. And I would not bank on buying a bunch of GT 1030s to mine with, just because the range of coins that they are good on at the moment is dwindling, to say the least. But just note this is a GDDR5 model. I do not have a DDR4 model to test, and you will not see a lot of testing on these GT 1030s. They're just not a very desirable card to grab. I do like, though, that it only draws 30 watts max. So if we grab the calculator out and we take our 30 watts and divide it by, we'll do 5.3. We're looking at around 5.6 watts per mega hash, which is not exactly the most efficient, but it's within the realm of being usable. It's nowhere near the like 9 series. They're just way too power hungry for the speed that they give you. So it is in the realm of energy efficient. It's just not a great card for mining. Since I have it, I'm gonna go ahead and use it and potentially do a budget build system on it coming up here in the future. My brother was looking at doing something, but for now it's just gonna stay mining. I did go and look online and was comparing the prices. See, here's the MSI GT 1030, and if you'll notice right here, it doesn't really, you can't really tell other than maybe it says like D4 right there. But if you go search DDR and go down, boom, look at that memory, 2 gigabytes GDDR4. So it's hiding down there in the specs. And a lot of times, what gets the new people to building or mining is they don't look at the hard specs like that. Now, if you go over to right here, $100 this is the exact one that I have, and you search. Let me Control F. DDR. Let's go down to it. Right there, 2 gigabytes GDDR5. So big difference. There is a little bit of a price difference on this. For some reason, these gigabyte overclock models hold a premium. But when I bought mine originally, I think I paid only $80. So, and then this one's $78. These cards originally launched with a $70 MSRP. So if anything, they're still slightly inflated. I could see buying one of these if I couldn't get my hands on a 1050. But really, a 1050 is pretty much a better buy in every single way, whether it's a 2 gigabyte or a 1050 Ti 4 gig. I'm going to be doing a roundabout video on that coming up here soon. I thought I should just get the 1030 out of the way because it's just, first one in the line of steps. Do I give my stamp of approval? It's good if you need a very, very basic computer. If you are going to get one, make sure it's a GDDR5, and otherwise just try to shoot for at least a 1050. But guys, thank you for watching. This is Brandon on Brandon Coin, and I will see you on the next one. Adios.
He's staring at our Aberdeen heart, London eye.